Know who you are. Celebrate your culture. Life is a festival. Explore it with me, Lady May. Join us live Saturday from 6 to 7 p.m. Let's share information. Naptanou chaque samedi, 6h pour 7h du soir, as we discover Afro-Caribbean culture. L'union fait la force.
And blessings to all of my people out there that are watching Afri Creole. Today we are here to attend the inauguration and the renaming of this area. At first it was Thomas Jefferson, but it will be renamed Frederick Douglass Square. Wow, what a powerful thing to do today, to give power and to give respect and acknowledgement to an American hero, an African American hero. So I thank you so much for being here with us today. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Moun sa yo mette vi yo en danger. Pour la paix pour yon jour sa ka changer. Lo même matin non yo pas songer. L'espoir donne, pour ça yo conviction yo exilé, qui campe king dans toute cause mêlée, ça yo qui remette l'on a campé. Béni yo, béni yo, béni yo, papa. Oh, béni yo, wa béni yo, papa, papa. Benio, papa. Oh, Benio, papa, Benio, papa, Benio, papa, Benio.
You cannot say that you're defunding the police department and there's no decrease in the number of police. And whatever other units they have still exists in the police department. It is still headed by a commissioner who has said for the last 2 years he does not believe that police officers treat black communities any different than they treat white communities. He said that out of his mouth, and 2 weeks ago he said he does not believe that there is systemic racism in the NYPD. So this sham of saying that you're taking X amount of dollars, whatever the amount is, and you still have the same number of officers who kill us, disrespect us, and get away with it is just a sham. We have got to make sure that we have police accountable to our community and to those of us who live here. We need an elected civilian review board, and I'm working on legislation for exactly that. We can't have a the city council, by the mayor, and by the police department. We cannot have any kind of justice when we have that. The civilian complaint review board that exists now does not substantiate any of the cases that come. And the police commissioner can dismiss whatever their recommendations are and just charge people with a loss of vacation days, regardless of how severe their offenses are. We're calling for an elected civilian review board, collectively elected from all of the boroughs across New York City, and we're calling for them to have the power to determine what justice will be meted out, and the commissioner will not be able to change their recommendation. And the third part, we are calling for an independent prosecutor. Don't get caught up with the term special, because the special prosecutor comes from the governor, comes from the attorney general, comes from within the police department. So we want an independent prosecutor also. Our people in our community. Thank you very much.
So we're continuing to speak to instrumental people in today's celebration and renaming of this square. And my sister, I heard what you have to say. It was so profound and it was so tender. It really touched me to my core. And so can you tell us who you are and tell us a little bit of your involvement in today's program?
Yes. My name is April Rayford, and I'm a member of the December 12th movement. We are an international community human rights organization, and we strongly believe the importance of black liberation, and that in terms of making freedom, it's going to have to be through the people. That it's nobody's decision except the people's decision about when they're going to be free and how to define that freedom.
Okay, so you shared with us a slogan. They stole us. Can you share that with me again?
Yes. One of the brothers from the December 12th movement, one of the leadership, his name is Omawali Clay, is a propagandist. And he has coined a term, they stole us, they sold us, they owe us, which speaks specifically to the years and years of a reparation campaign we've engaged in.
Okay, so for so long, it seemed like our voice was silent or ignored or unheard, but this is a time when a lot of people, and not only black people, but people of multiple races are joining in one voice, and they're saying enough is enough. How long have you been a part of this movement, and how long have you been wanting to see freedom for black people?
Well, I've actively been engaged with the December 12th movement for at least the last 20 years. I'm in my 50s, and being in this skin, you live, you experience things, and it comes to a point where you know that being angry, being sad isn't enough. That you have to organize, you have to mobilize, that you actually have to get in the streets physically, intellectually, financially. You've got to get in the streets if you want to see change. If you want change, you have to be about the change.
So how have you been able to stay encouraged and keep your head up for so many years of being ignored and marginalized?
I think that Martin Luther King said it best. He said we're in a very bitter and beautiful struggle. Certainly bitter in terms of oppression that appears to go on and on and on since the beginning of time for Africans. But today is that beautiful part where we know that black people, we will continue to demand to make change. And we will. And this is an example of that. It's about self-liberation. And again, it's a bitter but beautiful struggle. And we're going to fight because we know we're going to win. Other groups of people in other countries and other nations, we have them as examples. Cuba, for example, Zimbabwe. We have many examples in history of people who were oppressed, knowing that they had to take liberation in their own hands. And they struggled and they won. So we struggle and we win. Victory by victory by victory by victory, little by little by little, but we win.
Well, I thank you so much. I definitely feel like a winner to have been part of this ceremony today. And I know that the neighborhood and the people who live in this area, they feel like winners because look at what we have been able to accomplish. So I just give you all the respect and all the love that I have in my heart. And thank you for the inspiration.
Thank you, sis. Thank you.
C'est soleil, ou c'est lumière, ou c'est tambour dans qu'est moins, ou c'est ma poule, ou c'est l'amour, ou c'est vos douze entrailles moins, ou c'est badji, ou c'est magie, ou c'est amis, pays moins. Haïti, c'est une mélodie d'amour. Ou c'est racine, ou c'est vaccine, ou c'est rara dans sang moins, ou c'est Congo, ou c'est pétro, ou c'est banda dans les moins. Bel carnaval, bel festival, fanal moins, festival moins. Haïti, c'est une mélodie d'amour. Un pays qui douce passé, dans un pays qui t'y passé, malgré souffrir, ou à peine souffrir, pour jouer un moyen, ou à peine sourire. Haïti, au film désaccordé, ou à jouer un dos qui dommagé, ou à jouer un ré défiguré, ou à jouer un mi, oh misérable, ou à jouer un fa fatal. Jouer une sol sans solution, ou à jouer une là, en belle là, ou à jouer une si pour citron. Ou c'est racine, ou c'est vaccine, ou c'est rare dans sang moins, ou c'est Congo, ou c'est pétro, ou c'est banda dans les moins. Bel carnaval, bel festival, fanal moins. Festival moins, Haïti, c'est une mélodie d'amour.
You say listen, abo, abo. When I say abo, you say listen, abo, abo. Make some noise, y'all. Thank you for doing it. So I got 3 points I want to make. The first one is that I'm an abolitionist, and I'll explain that later. The second one is, when we say defund the police, we're not talking about defund the police as a reform movement to improve the police. We're saying defund the police because we want the money taken somewhere else to build our community. Defunding the police ain't going to change the police. I know you know that. My third point is, we got to do something about this. Who here ever heard of Stokely Carmichael? You heard of Stokely Carmichael? Make some noise. All right. So what was the name he adopted later? When I say Kwame, you say Torre. Kwame. Kwame. All right. He said, we are past the time for description. The time is now for prescription. Stop talking about it. What are we going to do about it? That's the point. You're going to hear a lot of speeches, but what are you going to do? And that's what we're going to get to last.
That's right.
So, the first thing. Let's go through some of the numbers. That's why I brought this up here. I usually don't use this, but we got these numbers. For every dollar that's spent on the NYPD, and that was last year, the homeless got 29 cents. Yeah, right. How much you think is spent on health? 25 cents for every dollar of the NYPD. How much you think was spent on housing? 19 cents for every dollar of the NYPD. How much you think was spent on youth and community? 12 cents. Now the police claim they're out here because we have youth who don't have any opportunities. Well, how much do you think they spend on job development programs for everybody? 1 penny. 1 penny. So that's why we have to do what we need to do here. So now, here's the disinformation that they're always giving you. What did they tell you the police budget was? What did they tell you it was? $6 billion. Well, they might as well have told you that, because what's today? 11. You lied. The 4th of July. So they told you the budget was $6 billion. It's actually $11 billion. It's $5.5 billion for operations and another $5.5 billion for benefits and pensions. Why didn't they tell you that? That's part of the budget too, right? Right? So it's $11 billion. So when people say they want to chop 1, you say, oh, 1 out of 6, that's pretty good. But it's 1 out of 10. So we're not asking for anything, the people who are making that demand. So half of that money has not even been talked about. The amount of money that goes to the NYPD is the 2nd highest budget after the Department of Education. Everything else falls way below that. And why is that? We know. Here's some of the other problems that are going on. $635 million last year for overtime. Almost $1 billion that people are trying to cut right there. Oh, and you know what they tell you? Well, we need the overtime to be on the street so we can fight crime. Well, guess where over half of the overtime is going? Into the chief's office. Overtime for the executives and the ones with all the on their shoulders and on their hats. What do we need overtime for if they're claiming it's all going out in the street? What's today? What's today's date? Yeah, so you know what they're doing. The average salary for a civilian in the NYPD is $55,000. Wow. The average salary for an officer is $113,000. So more 4th of July, so all the civilian people are the ones that aren't getting paid anything. And there are a whole lot of people who are doing jobs the civilians should be doing that are getting $113,000 to wear a uniform and sit behind a desk and tap into a computer. Let's look at 2014 to 2019. Police spending rose higher than anywhere else, 22% in 5 years, even though crime has been going down consistently. $240 million in 2018 was spent on what brought us all out here today. Why are we out here? Not for the naming, no, not for the 4th of July, not for the street naming. What brought us all out here? What have the police been doing? They've been killing people. And in 2018, they spent $240 million settling police brutality cases, civil rights violations, personal injury, destruction of property. And they're talking about they need more money. If you would back off the community, you'd have $240 million right there. And whose money is that? That money should come out of their budget, not ours. So what do we do? What do we do about all this? What did Kwame Ture tell us? Organize. We're past the time of description. The time is now prescription. So we have to stay busy. We have to get off the streets. When we're finished with the streets, we have to keep this going and not wait till the next murder. We have to organize. You got to know your rights. You got to stand up for your rights. You got to teach other people their rights. You got to teach other people to teach other people their rights. You got to file Freedom of Information Act. You got to access to the videotapes now. Try to get them. Make them give them to us. We got to push for all of it. Join an organization. And don't just show up every once in a while. Get in that organization and do something. Be busy. Form coalitions so that we grow and grow.
Know who you are. Celebrate your culture. Life is a festival. Explore it with me, Lady May. Join us live Saturday from 6 to 7 p.m. Let's share information. Naptanou chaque samedi, 6h pour 7h du soir, as we discover Afro-Caribbean culture. L'union fait la force.